Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. From NFL News Now, Philadelphia Eagles fans are living through a roller coaster of emotions in the 2025 season. And if you were to glance at the standings, you might think everything is smooth sailing. The Eagles sit at 8-3, boasting the no-to seed in the NFC, a record that would suggest dominance and consistency. Yet the reality on the ground has been anything but straightforward. What makes this season especially captivating and at times frustrating is that beneath the winning record, there's a drama unfolding that could define the future of one of the team's most dynamic players, A.J. Brown. While Philadelphia has often been a city of passionate scrutiny and heightened expectations, this season has brought an unusual intensity to the discourse surrounding Brown, whose impact on the field has been remarkable, but whose relationship with the organization and teammates has become a focal point of speculation. Early in the season, the conversation around Brown centered primarily on his performance highlight reel catches, crucial touchdowns, and moments that electrified Lincoln Financial Field. But as the weeks passed, murmurs of trade possibilities and dissatisfaction began to surface. The narrative has shifted again, and now whispers are circulating about friction between Brown and quarterback Jalen Hurts, suggesting that even within the team, not all is harmonious. This undercurrent of tension hit a particularly visible point during a recent game against the Dallas Cowboys, where the Eagles infamously blew a 21-0 lead. Moments like these ignite debate not just about strategy, play calling, or defensive lapses, but about the very chemistry of the team. How do individual personalities and egos affect a squad trying to contend for a Super Bowl? The Eagles' situation this year seems to suggest that while talent is abundant, cohesion is still a work in progress. Outside of Philadelphia, pundits and former players alike have weighed in, adding fuel to the speculation about Brown's future. One voice that carries significant weight is that of Donovan McNabb, the Eagles' legendary quarterback, who recently joined 9 for WIP Sports Radio to share his perspective. McNabb's insight is particularly resonant because he has lived the highs and lows of this franchise. He has navigated championships and locker room tensions, and he understands the delicate balance between managing talent and maintaining team culture. Speaking candidly, McNabb suggested that the current environment could make 2025 A.J. Brown's final season in Philadelphia. His reasoning centers on the disruptive potential of internal friction and the difficult decisions organizations must sometimes make to preserve a winning atmosphere. McNabb drew parallels between the Eagles' situation and other high-profile team dynamics, citing examples like the Kansas City Chiefs' handling of Tyreek Hill. He explained how teams occasionally have to remove a toxic influence or make tough roster decisions to protect the larger system and maintain a championship-caliber culture. He noted that while the initial reaction to moving a star player can be skepticism or doubt, the long-term result can validate the decision if the team remains competitive or even improves. McNabb emphasized that the issues surrounding A.J. Brown are symptomatic of larger conversations about the team's culture and leadership, particularly around Jalen Hurts. He observed that discussion about Brown often intertwines with commentary on Hurts' performance and perceived rapport with coaches and teammates. In McNabb's view, these conversations are a familiar pattern, one that he has witnessed before, suggesting that the Eagles' leadership may soon face a critical crossroads. Decisions made in the next few months could not only determine Brown's tenure in Philadelphia, but also set the tone for the team's trajectory in the postseason. For fans, the implications are both exciting and nerve-wracking. Brown has been a dynamic force since arriving in Philadelphia, a receiver capable of shifting the momentum of games with his speed, route running, and ability to make contested catches. His presence has been a significant factor in the Eagles' success over the past few seasons, making him one of the league's most compelling offensive weapons. Yet, McNabb's warning highlights a tension that often exists in professional sports: the challenge of balancing individual brilliance with collective harmony. A team can survive individual disagreements, but when frustration or miscommunication begins to affect performance on the field, leadership must evaluate whether change is necessary. This is particularly relevant in a city like Philadelphia, where the scrutiny from media, fans, and former players is relentless, and where a misstep can quickly become a headline. McNabb's comments underscore that the perception of locker room chemistry matters just as much as what happens on Sundays. and that sometimes difficult personnel decisions are made not because a player lacks talent, but because maintaining a positive environment is essential for long-term success. A.J. Brown's 2025 season has been a microcosm of these pressures. While the statistics and highlight reels speak to his elite capability, the surrounding narratives, rumors, critiques, and internal whispers have complicated the story. Brown's interactions with Hurts, whether overplay execution, in-game adjustments, or general rapport, are being closely scrutinized, and the media frenzy around these issues has amplified what might otherwise be routine locker room dynamics. What McNabb points out is that such cycles are familiar to those who have spent significant time in high-stakes football environments. Talk emerges, speculation spreads, and eventually leadership must decide whether to act decisively or allow the situation to continue. In this context, the Eagles' management faces a pivotal question about how to balance loyalty to star players with the necessity of fostering an environment conducive to winning. The timing of these discussions is crucial as the season progresses toward the playoffs. Every decision carries heightened stakes, and the outcome will shape not only the team's immediate fortunes, but also the legacy of players like A.J. Brown. The Eagles' narrative this season is further complicated by the team's apparent resilience. Despite the drama, the record remains impressive, and Philadelphia continues to be a legitimate Super Bowl contender. This duality, success on the field paired with internal tension, creates a unique storyline that has captured national attention. McNabb's commentary situates this drama within a historical lens, reminding fans that even teams with championship aspiration are not immune to the challenges of managing personalities and expectations. His suggestion that this could be Brown's last year is not merely speculation. It's a reflection of the hard truths that confront any franchise operating at the highest level. It's a reminder that the NFL is not just about athleticism and statistics, but also about leadership, culture, and the ability to navigate complex human dynamics. The intersection of performance, personality, and perception is where legacies are made, and the Eagles' current season offers a vivid example of how delicate that balance can be. As the 2025 season continues, all eyes will remain on A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, and the Eagles' coaching staff. Every catch, every touchdown, and every game-time decision will be dissected not just for its immediate impact, but for what it reveals about the team's chemistry and future direction. Fans, analysts, and former players like Donovan McNabb are invested because the stakes are enormous. Playoff positioning, potential Super Bowl runs, and the long-term identity of a franchise that demands excellence. The narrative surrounding A.J. Brown is emblematic of the broader challenge facing Philadelphia: how to harness elite talent, navigate complex personalities, and maintain a winning culture in a league where scrutiny is relentless and the margin for error is razor-thin. Whether Brown remains in Philadelphia beyond 2025 or not, this season has already underscored the reality that even in a winning environment, the interplay of talent, temperament, and leadership can define the course of a franchise in ways that extend far beyond the scoreboard. The Eagles are winning, yes, but as McNabb cautions, success is never guaranteed when the undercurrents of frustration and speculation threaten to overshadow the brilliance on the field. Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. If you've been paying attention to the NFL rumor mill, then you know that the league has been buzzing with whispers that were impossible to ignore. And now, the word on the street is official. A.J. Brown, the electric wide receiver who has been a cornerstone for the Philadelphia Eagles offense, is officially making a monumental shift in his career by heading to the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, you heard that right. The star receiver who electrified crowds, shredded defensive schemes, and became a household name in Philly will now be donning the iconic silver and blue of America's team. And the implications of this move are sending shockwaves across the NFL landscape. The news has not just stirred casual fans, but it has ignited debates, social media firestorms, and heated discussions in locker rooms, sports bars, and podcasts across the country. The Eagles, a franchise known for their passionate fan base and history of hard-hitting football, are reportedly closing a chapter that many thought would last for years. Meanwhile, Cowboys fans are already buzzing with excitement, dreaming about the new dimensions Brown could add to an offense that's looking to make a statement, not just in the regular season, but deep into the playoffs. The speculation around this move has been simmering for weeks, with insiders dropping hints and cryptic comments during interviews and on social media. analysts were quick to dissect potential scenarios, weighing the financial logistics, the fit in offensive schemes, and the chemistry with quarterbacks. Brown's departure from Philadelphia was not entirely out of the blue, though, behind closed doors. Sources suggest that discussions about contract extensions, salary cap space, and long-term visions for the team had reached a complex crossroads. Brown, known for his competitive fire and relentless work ethic, has consistently sought an environment where he feels valued and strategically positioned to make an impact. The Cowboys, with their recent draft strategies, offensive line reinforcements, and high-powered quarterback play, apparently represented an irresistible opportunity, a chance to not just join a historic franchise, but to cement a legacy in a market that thrives on star power and national attention. The fan reactions, of course, have been nothing short of dramatic. Philadelphia fans have taken to Twitter, Reddit, and fan forums to voice everything from heartbreak to outrage. Many point to Brown's contributions over the years, highlight reels, clutch catches, and moments that seemed almost cinematic, and expressed disbelief that such a pivotal player could be moving to a divisional rival that already has its eyes on championship glory. On the other side, Dallas fans are riding a wave of euphoria, imagining the synergy between Brown and the Cowboys. Existing offensive weapons, every analyst, every podcast host, every highlight reel commentator seems to be spinning scenarios, breaking down playbooks, and projecting what the season might look like with Brown's talent injected into the Cowboys lineup. It's the kind of buzz that makes casual viewers lean in and die-hard fans argue for hours over whether this move signals a championship window or a risky gamble. But beyond fan reactions, there's a lot to unpack about the strategic chess moves here. A.J. Brown's skill set is well documented. His size, speed, agility, and ability to dominate contested catches make him a nightmare for defenses. Yet, the narrative that surrounds his arrival in Dallas isn't just about physical ability, it's about timing, opportunity, and the subtle undercurrents of team dynamics. Sources close to the situation hint at conversations between coaches and management that were focused on culture fit and leadership in the locker room. Brown is not just a receiver. He's a presence. His influence stretches into how younger players are mentored, how practice intensity is maintained, and even how game day energy can be elevated. For the Cowboys, acquiring a player like Brown isn't just about adding stats to the board. It's about infusing a new mentality into a roster that's been striving to balance tradition with modern NFL innovation. Meanwhile, whispers around Philadelphia suggest that the Eagles are not going to sit idly by. They are reportedly exploring multiple avenues to restructure their offense, find emerging talent, and potentially draft or sign players who can fill the void left by Brown's departure. The rumor mill even hints at internal discussions about offensive schemes being adapted to a more versatile approach, leveraging tight ends and slot receivers in ways that weren't the focus when Brown was the centerpiece. It's a classic adapt or evolve scenario, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If Philadelphia navigates this correctly, they might emerge stronger in a few seasons. But the immediate optics suggest a shocking power shift in the NFC East, with the Cowboys now suddenly perceived as a more formidable threat. The timing of this move adds even more drama. NFL insiders have been meticulously tracking the offseason moves, free agent signings, and trade negotiations, and Brown's transfer fits into a broader pattern of seismic shifts across the league. Every analyst on television and every reporter in the press box seems to be connecting dots: financial maneuvers, roster adjustments, and the broader implications for playoff matchups. In casual conversation, fans are speculating about the potential for headline-grabbing games, rivalry escalations, and record-breaking performances. The NFL thrives on narratives like this, and the A.J. Brown to Cowboys story hits all the marks: drama, talent, impact, and the tantalizing possibility of rewriting the balance of power in one of the league's most competitive divisions. What's also fascinating are the human elements behind the headlines. Brown, by all accounts, is thrilled about the new chapter. Interviews and social media posts hint at a mix of excitement, anticipation, and determination. He seems ready to embrace the Dallas spotlight, understanding that the expectations are massive. Every reception, every touchdown, every crucial play will be under scrutiny, and Brown appears poised to handle it with the confidence that has defined his career so far. The narrative is not just about a player changing teams, it's about a man stepping into a new arena, one where the stakes are higher, the lights are brighter, and the audience is vast and passionate. The pressure is immense, but if history is any guide, Brown thrives under pressure. For Cowboys fans, the possibilities are exhilarating. Imagine the red zone efficiency, the deep ball connections, the highlight reel catches that could dominate weekly highlight reels. Every broadcast booth will have analysts breaking down how to maximize Brown's impact, how defenses will adapt, and how the Cowboys' offensive playbook might transform to cater to his explosive skill set. The rumor mill has already churned out countless what-if scenarios, and social media is flooded with graphics, mock lineups, and fantasy football speculation. The intrigue isn't limited to casual observers either. It extends deep into team strategy discussions, draft projections, and long-term planning. Brown's arrival is more than a transaction. It's a catalyst for a cascade of strategic recalibrations. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, the story is tinged with nostalgia and uncertainty. Fans reminisce about the spectacular plays, the game-changing moments, and the emotional highs Brown brought to Lincoln Financial Field. Some wonder if this move will spur the Eagles to double down on scouting and talent development, while others fear that the void left by Brown will be difficult to fill. It's a complex emotional landscape, one that balances admiration for a player's contributions with the harsh realities of professional sports, where business decisions, contract negotiations, and strategic planning can override fan sentiment. As this rumor solidifies into reality, the NFL world waits with bated breath for the next chapter. How will Brown adjust to the Cowboys system? How will defenses react to his presence? Will the Eagles pivot successfully to a new offensive model? Every analyst, every fan, every commentator is eager for the first real glimpse of this new dynamic on the field. And while the initial shock may dominate headlines today, the true story will unfold over weeks, months, and seasons as each snap, each reception, and each touchdown writes the next verse in the saga of A.J. Brown's career and the Cowboys' resurgence. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates only here on NFL News Now.